Once upon a time, in a village called Amachara, there lived a girl called Chamaka. Chamaka was a beautiful young girl. Her smile brightened even the most difficult times. She lived with her family in a small village, struggling to make ends meet. Despite their poverty, her parents believed in education and worked tirelessly to ensure Chamaka completed her schooling. She graduated with hopes and dreams of a better future. One fateful day, Chamaka met Felix. He was charming, tall, and spoke with such confidence that Chamaka couldn't help but be drawn to him. They quickly fell in love. Felix seemed perfect, and Chamaka believed she had found her soulmate. It was as if the universe had finally smiled upon her, giving her a chance to experience true love. After just 4 months of dating, Felix proposed something radical. Chamaka, I want us to take a oath. I want us to be together forever. No matter what, this way, we will always be bonded, even beyond this life. Chamaka hesitated. She had heard of oaths before, dangerous promises made between lovers, bound by their blood, sealing their fate together. But she was young, in love, and feared losing Felix, so she agreed. They met in a secluded area one evening. Felix brought out a small blade, and they both cut their palms. As their blood mixed, Felix said, "With this blood, I bind us together forever. Chamaka, you will be mine till death, and I will be yours. Anyone who breaks this will face terrible consequences." Chamaka repeated the words, her voice shaking. She felt scared, but it was too late to back out. From that moment, they were tied together by an invisible bond. Time passed, and Chamaka realized that her relationship was far from the fairy tale she had imagined. Felix, who she thought was hardworking and ambitious, turned out to be lazy and unmotivated. He was a graduate, but refused to seek employment even when his own brother offered him a job, preferring instead to look around, riding a bike and making excuses. Chamaka, on the other hand, worked tirelessly. Her parents, despite their major earnings, had enrolled her in a hospital to train as an auxiliary nurse. Chamaka was dedicated and worked hard, hoping to secure a better future for herself and her family. But Felix never appreciated her efforts. He would demand money from her, and she would oblige, believing that supporting him was part of her duty as a girlfriend. Chamaka spent her hard-earned money on Felix, buying him clothes, feeding him, and even giving him money to fuel his bike. Her friends and family noticed the imbalance in their relationship. "Chamaka, why are you doing this to yourself?" her best friend asked her one evening at their working place. "Felix is not adding any value to your life. You are the one struggling and working while he does nothing." "Ogechi, I love him," Chamaka replied, her voice filled with desperation. "I can't leave him. We made a oath. If I try to break it, something terrible will happen." Her best friend's eyes widened in horror. "Chamaka, what have you done?" Chamaka's best friend told her the implications of what she has done, and that she needs to find a way to undo the oath. So Chamaka became worried, but she don't know what to do. So the next year went by, and their relationship remained the same. Chamaka had to beg Felix to break the oath, but he refused each time. He would threaten her, saying, "If you ever think of leaving me, I will kill your parents. I swear I will." Chamaka was trapped. She wanted to leave, but she was scared, not just for herself, but for her family. She don't know how to escape the chains that bound her to Felix. One day, after they had been dating for almost 10 years, Chamaka decided that the only way to secure a future with Felix was to get married. She gathered all her savings and gave Felix money to pay her bride price. But instead of making wedding preparations, Felix squandered the money on various things, partying and living recklessly. Desperate and hopeless, Chiamaka decided to move in with him. She thought that maybe living together would change things, that Felix would finally take responsibilities and start acting like the man she fell in love with. But nothing changed. Felix remained lazy and abusive. Soon, Chiamaka became pregnant. She was overjoyed, believing that the child would bring a new beginning for them. But her joy was short-cut. As her pregnancy progressed, she developed health complications. Chiamaka begged Felix to take her to a good hospital, but he refused. "You are just exaggerating," he said dismissively. "There's nothing wrong with you. I will take you to the local midwife. She will handle everything." Chiamaka was heartbroken. She knew that her health required proper medical attention, but Felix was adamant. Her parents, being poor, were so devastated they don't know what to do. When the time came for her to deliver, Felix took her to the midwife, who struggled to handle the situation. Chiamaka's condition worsened, and in a state of panic, Felix took her to a nearby church instead of a hospital. "She has a spiritual husband," the pastor exclaimed upon seeing Chiamaka. "We must pray and perform rituals to cleanse her." For 3 days, Chiamaka suffered as they prayed and conducted rituals. She was weak, in pain, and desperate for help. But Felix believed in the pastor's words and refused to take her to a proper medical facility. By the time they finally rushed her to a hospital, it was almost too late. The doctors discovered that the baby's water had broken inside her and that she had severe malaria. They had to perform an emergency surgery to save her life. Unfortunately, after 2 days, the baby did not survive. Chiamaka cried. She cried. She felt as if her world had crumbled around her. She had lost her child, and her health was deteriorating rapidly. Felix, who should have been her source of support, was distant and unconcerned. He felt that since she's in a hospital and her parents is there, that it was none of his business. 2 days later, Chiamaka passed away. She died without ever experiencing the love and happiness she deserved. Felix cried, but he had no other options than to fix her burial date. On the said burial date, Felix cried, but it was a horror cry, filled with more regret than genuine sorrow. After Chiamaka's burial, Felix packed his belongings and moved to another city. It was as if he wanted to escape the memories of the past. In this new city, he found a new love. He treated his new girlfriend with respect and care, something he had never shown Chiamaka. But Felix could not escape his guilty. He remembered Chiamaka's sacrifice, her love, and the pain she endured because of him. He regretted everything, the oath, the abuse, the neglect, but it was too late. Chiamaka was gone, and no amount of regret could bring her back. The oath that was meant to bind them forever had destroyed Chiamaka's life. It was a curse that chained her to a man who never deserved her love. Felix lived with the shadow of his past, haunted by the memory of the girl who had loved him unconditionally. He wished he could turn back time and undo the mistakes he made, but life doesn't give second chances. Chiamaka's parents cried. They were never aware that Chiamaka took an Felix. It was after her burial that they got to know that she took an Felix, because Felix went to her grave and undo the which he refused when Chiamaka was alive. Moral lesson: this story teaches us that love should be free and not bound by fear or threat. Girls should never take anyone, no matter how much they believe they are in love. If you are in a relationship where you feel trapped or scared, speak out. Your life is precious, and you deserve to be loved and respected without fear. Chiamaka's story is a reminder that we should value ourselves and not let anyone take advantage of our love and kindness. Relationships should be built on mutual respect and care, not control and manipulations. And to those who find themselves in relationships where they are not valued. Remember that it's better to walk away than to stay and lose yourself in the process. Life is too short to be unhappy. Choose love, but choose yourself first. Thank you guys for watching my stories, and please come back for more stories. I love you.